Welcome to hell.
Go do it, because we're already on the clock. We're already paying for the time. So on this one...
Oh, you son of a bitch, you did it again.
I totally did.
Cocksucker. All right, we'll just keep going. I'll have to splice the audio. Dick. Hi, my name's Jeff, and I can't hit a big fucking square button that says record.
Hi, my name is Cranston Dean, and this is a song of mine called Maybe I'll Be Fired. I like beer, but I take wine. Drink a little while, I'll be feeling fine. Dancing like a fool on the barroom floor. Put our heads together, couldn't think no more. And I like whiskey, and you like tea. If you can mix them up together, you can give them to me. And I go left, you stay right. Maybe if we're lucky, make it through the night. Where is Philadelphia? Where is Pandemonia? If I'm getting out today, hey, I'm gonna drink 'em, take a couple notions, and tomorrow I would think I'm home. Got a bad desire. Oh, maybe by tomorrow morning, baby, I'll be fired. Hey, hey, I'm gonna drink 'em, take a couple potions, and tomorrow I would think I'm home. I just wanna get high. Oh, maybe by tomorrow morning, baby, I'll be fired. Sing glory, hallelujah. Listen to me, brother. Here's another thing I never try to keep on the cover. That's I like smoking like a chimney in the winter when it keeps me feeling closer to the saints and the sinners. And I don't mind cheap perfume, and I don't mind the smoky room. If I only ever put my elbows into my ears, still a lot of bullshit that I gotta hear. I watch the foam roll down my glass. One more drink and then I pass out. Is there some place that I can crash? Hey, I'm gonna drink 'em, take a couple notions, and tomorrow I would think I'm home. Got a bad desire. Oh, maybe by tomorrow morning, baby, I'll be fired. Hey, I'm gonna drink 'em, take a couple potions, and tomorrow I would think I'm home. I just wanna get high. Oh, maybe by tomorrow morning, baby, I'll be fired. Watch the foam roll down my glass. One more drink and then I pass out. Is there some place that I can crash? Hey, I'm gonna drink 'em, take a couple notions, and tomorrow I would think I'm home. Got a bad desire. Oh, maybe by tomorrow morning, baby, I'll be fired. Hey, I'm gonna drink 'em, take a couple potions, and tomorrow I would think I'm home. I just wanna get high. Oh, maybe by tomorrow morning, baby, I'll be fired. Yeah, maybe by tomorrow morning, baby, I'll be fired. Maybe by tomorrow morning, baby, I'll be fired.
Hello, and welcome to the Jersey Shore Musicians Podcast. I'm Matt. That's Jeff.
Hello.
And tonight we have Cranston Dean.
Golf clap.
Oh, nice. Thanks for having me, guys.
Not a problem. Did you find the place all right?
Yep. Actually, I did. I got here a bit early, and the email said be here at 8, so I was like, I'm going to go take a little lap around the neighborhood, and
Wow.
I was impressed by the amount of Wawas on
He's considerate, too.
Fisher Ave. That was pretty nice.
Yeah. Wow, that's pretty good. You not too many people find this place very easily. That's the whole thing.
First time, GPS.
Works great. Tells you right where to go.
Maybe you should email people more.
Whoa. Why don't you fucking email people?
I don't.
I know.
I'm throwing everybody under the bus here.
This is our constant battle. Because you can email jsmpinfo@gmail.com, and Jeff will get right back to you.
I never do.
I know, because I do.
I know, it's great. So anyway, back to our guest. How are you?
I'm doing well.
That's great. So where do you prominently like kind of play and stuff like that? Like, what is your...
What's your home base?
Yeah.
Home base, it's Asbury Park for sure. I play a lot, probably most in Asbury Park. But I'm from a town called Atlantic Highlands, and up in Atlantic Highlands and Highlands, up on the Bay Shore, there's a couple places to play up there. Okay. And so I spend a good amount of time there as well.
That's awesome. So there's still places to play up there.
Yeah, there are. There's actually more places than there were maybe 10 years ago. So things are starting to kind of pick up around there more, for better or worse.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's like kind of different because we keep always saying like, oh, how places are dropping like flies. Yeah, so I guess maybe maybe it's dropping here, but...
Yeah, because we talk about this all the time, is name one venue in Ocean County.
The Strand Theater in Lakewood. But as like
a
venue that...
A like, normal venue.
Bands,
yeah, there's none.
I'm lost.
Not one.
Yeah.
I'm lost.
They're all gone.
There used to
Jackson be a lot. Moose Lodge had bands for a while, but they just recently moved.
Yeah, they relocated somewhere else.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, you're right. I'm stumped.
I can't remember where they moved to, but yeah, they moved. It's like a different Elks or a Moose Lodge or something somewhere else.
Okay, didn't even hear about that, but that's cool. Good luck, guys. So, anything coming out musically that people want to maybe check out?
I just put out an album on May 11th. It's called Northern Town, and you can check it out on all the streaming platforms.
Is it full?
It's a full-length album,
Okay.
10 tracks, and then I got a bunch of new songs that I've started recording, so I'm planning to put out singles throughout the summer because it's just like a long process, and today's market for consumption is
well, we say all the time since COVID, the releasing an album it's barely existent.
It's dinosaur shit that I'm doing, you know.
Wasn't always like that.
Nah.
But now, like, are you going to go through it as like, here's the full 10, or are you going to put out like, here's a single, then maybe another, maybe get up to 5, and then the whole thing? Like, what's your game plan?
I'm not sure. On this last one, Northern Town, I put out a single, and then I just put the whole kit and caboodle out. I'm toying around with the idea of releasing one of the songs just as a music video and not putting it on any of the streaming services. Like, if you want to hear it,
drive everybody to one spot for that one. Yeah,
kind of toying around with that idea, and then the other one's just, I think, just singles. They might not even go on a whole album for this next batch that I'm thinking about, because I refuse to get a TikTok. I won't do it. I won't.
I tried it. I won't. I tried it for the podcast. I just don't understand it. Like, it's foreign to me.
We're not young enough.
Yeah,
That's it.
I think I'm barely on Instagram. I don't really quite get that one much either. So I'm just like very technically, like Melissa Peterson emailed you guys about all this. I'm just very technically unsavvy, and so
it's not a bad thing, but in today's day and age, it's a necessary evil.
I mean, I kind of understand that, like, because I'm not.
Well, you're the same way. I handle everything for us social wise.
I think it's maybe I'm just like social, like I don't want to talk to anybody.
Well, that's it. There's always that.
There's that. It's like when you come in here, it's like, oh, cool. You're like, hey, man, how's it going? But like if we were outside of Wawa, I'd just be like, if I didn't know you, I'd be like, hey, man, walk by.
Yep.
Yeah. I'll hold the door for somebody. I'm nice.
Oh, you're a gentleman.
I know. I try.
Well, you also strike me as the kind of guy that might have encountered many random people over the course of time that you just strike up long conversations with strangers. That's not the case?
With strangers? No.
Really?
No, I'm very to myself.
I'm attracted to, or strangers are attracted to me because I've had a lot of great interactions with just random person number 5 or 10 or 25. Like NPCs in a video game, but mine are really interesting, the ones I come across, I think.
Okay. That's great. How old are you?
I'm 33. I just turned 33.
Okay.
Young blood.
Yeah.
Oh, that's that. Like, yeah, I
I
see
like
the
hearing
things.
that.
Yeah,
You know,
no, that's
'cause
great.
I don't feel it, but
It's like
We're the old man. We got you.
Yeah, man, don't worry about it. Because I've seen like other 30-year-olds and now recently a couple 20-year-olds, and it's just different. It's different from when I was doing my thing and how we approach things. It's night and day. And I know I sound like an old guy. I get it. Because I remember being 20-something, being like talking to somebody in their 40s and be like, yeah, man, that's your time's up. And I remember being like that. Now I'm there and I'm like,
Fuck.
yeah, it's like, my time's up. But you motherfuckers are fucked. Like, damn. So anyway, back to you. All right, let's talk about how you go your process of writing the song and then bringing it. Do you home record it? Do you go to a studio? Like how? Or somebody that records? Like
yeah. So this is my 6th album, so I've been at the album making thing for
A good
6
bit.
of them. A good bit. I don't want to say how long, but so on the first 3 of them. It was in a studio, actually down here in Bayhead, 816. There's a guy by the name Pat Noon, and he recorded the first 3 full band albums. And the first EP I put out was at home with a lifelong friend of mine named Jamie Tennant. And then most recently, the past 2 I've put out were with a dear friend of mine, Mike Young, and he's got a studio up in Maine. It's called North Shore Woods, and for this last one, we moved all the gear down to Jersey and just kind of did it at home and tried to do it without the ticking clock of studio time.
Yeah.
Because you get hungry.
It costs money, yeah.
You're not playing as inspired, or you're a little bit sleepy. You're not playing as inspired. And if it's costing money,
Yeah.
guess what?
It adds up.
You gotta go do it because we're already on the clock. We're already paying for the time. So on this one,
Oh, you son of a bitch! You did it again.
I totally did.
Cocksucker. All right, we'll just keep going. I'll have to splice the audio. Dick. Hi, my name's Jeff, and I can't hit a big fucking square button that says record.
You just took off and went running. Shut the fuck up.
in fairness, yeah.
I asked you if you were ready.
You didn't say, like, go. I just looked down and I'm like, oh, that's green. That fucking
Shouldn't
sucks.
be green.
Nah, shouldn't be like that. Well, I guess we're just going to do the 2-track. It actually sounds pretty good. So, anyway.
But that's kind of the beauty of recording at home, because if you did that and
You just do it
were
over, it
paying
doesn't matter.
if it wasn't your podcast studio, then you'd be like, no.
Well, that's like I have a couple
mistake.
buddies that do podcasts, and they pay for a studio to rent to do it, and I'm just like, that would kill me because I have so much stuff that I sit here and tweak and make sure everything's the way I want it. And like in that setting, you got to go because you're paying by the hour. And at 59 minutes, they're like, get the fuck out.
Like in the studio, in the paid studio, I've seen guitar players come in and change their guitar strings that day. Like
Why would you
why
do
would
it
you
there?
do that? Because then by the time you do have it strung up, it's gonna go out of tune and it's not.
Yeah, you got to break them
Not
in.
in the
You
pocket there.
should break them in before you get there. Yeah.
So yeah, people do
That's
interesting
crazy.
things.
I've never heard that before. If
Yeah.
somebody came in here and was like, I got to change my strings, I'd be like, yeah, no.
No, you don't. Play this guitar.
Yeah, here's one I know works.
Or a drummer bringing in their own drum kit instead of using one of the many studio drum kits that are all nice. They're all like, you guys know that your drum
Tuned to
kit
the-
doesn't go squeaky, squeaky
Yeah.
Yeah,
every time the
exactly.
kick drum goes.
Yeah, it's tuned to the room. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I never had one of those either.
But you could change strings if you record at home.
You could do whatever you want.
You can
at
do
home. That's the best part.
whatever you want.
That's great.
Dogs involved. That's my.
Now,
my
are
new
you
way.
just solo by yourself? Do you have people that play with you?
I do have a band with me. Yeah, I got and they're all friends that I've played with for quite some time now, and so it was really nice to record this last one, just kind of in that like familial environment, and get to eat meals together and kind of slow it down, and yeah. So I got a drummer by the name of Shane Luckenbaugh, and I went to school with him, and I've known him since college, and Then I've got a guitar player named Riley Shiro, fantastic dude. A second guitar player who's a multi-instrumentalist. He plays the octave mandolin, the flute, and slide guitar on this album, and the dobro as well. And then we have a bass player named Patty C, and so kind of rounds it out with the group of 5 there.
That's awesome.
Lots of vocal harmony going
Now,
on.
do
nice.
you write everything, or do they have input in the writing process? And
In the songwriting itself, I write it, so I'll bring them a full song. But then when we get together, they do have a big hand in the arrangement parts, and I'm never like, hey, this is the bass part I created. It's
so,
like,
so
nah,
basically,
man, like,
basically
I'm gonna let the bass
you
player
lay
do
the
that.
foundation, and then they kind of pile on top.
Yes. Yep.
Gotcha.
And this unit's been together for the beginning, or
Mostly since the beginning. Yeah, they're Riley and Shane have been on since like 2014 or so, and then Patty's new to the group, but I also play drums in his band, so it's kind of another. We were talking before we started recording about like the community building aspect, and where I'm from, a lot of bands, there's not as many players, but a lot of bands share members. So I think the community building part is pretty inherent just because.
Okay.
Yeah. One guy's in 3 or 4
he's
bands.
in your
yeah.
band too, so you should go support his other band kind of deal.
Gotcha.
Okay. Yeah.
And then Max Carmichael, this is the first time he's recorded with us, but I've been playing music with him for years. I'm kind of a nerd for folk songs, and I love Irish and Scottish folk music.
Okay.
And he's really great at all those things, and old-time American folk music. So for years, we would just kind of sit on a porch and
Just jam.
pick guitar, and he plays banjo as well, so just kind of jamming those old folk songs. And then we convinced him to pick up an electric guitar for the first time in a while. He is an excellent electric guitar player, but just he kind of fell off of.
It's just not his thing.
That wasn't what he was as interested in, but we convinced him to pick one up for this album. So I'm glad we did.
That's cool, yeah.
Cool. And like, what kind of style would you say your writing style would be? Is it like that folk because that's what you like the most, or is it? I don't want to say pop. I don't want to say rock, but you know what I mean. Where it's like, if you got electric guitar, you know, you don't seem like the type of person that's going to have it on 11.
No,
You know?
I don't. Although when we do play with the band, I do like getting pretty loud and then dropping back off into like the third verse. If it's like typically we put a guitar solo at the end of the second chorus almost every time. No fail, very predictable place. So if anybody sits in with us, you know,
you know it's coming up.
It's coming there. And at the end of that, I like when in the solo section, especially if the players, if they're whomping, it's like send it around one more time and then build it up, you know, as loud as we can possibly
We get the big rises and falls and then the dynamics where you build that solo up and then you just drop it out and just kind of leave them hanging for a second.
Yes, I love that kind of
So very
stuff.
dynamics.
But yeah, we do like dynamics. As far as genre goes, though, I've always had a hard time with that question because I don't quite know. I mean, like, I know it definitely falls somewhere in the Venn diagram of there's country music a little bit. There's a little bit of just soul and our old R&B. There's rock. So it is a little bit all over the place. And I do love hip-hop. And so a lot of times my lyrics do kind of, I mean, it's not as good as the hip-hop artists I love, like Kendrick Lamar. I love the way his internal rhymes start switching a new rhyme set going the other way just because he rhymes these two words back to back, and now these outer rhymes he has like different layers to where he rhymes things, and I like trying to do that as well.
Okay.
But I don't know. Anytime I've been asked that, I think genre hopping, genre-less music. I don't know.
Well, I always say that people in the band have the least idea of what you would classify that band as.
That's probably true.
And the best bands too are when you can't classify it as one singular thing because everybody's got different backgrounds and they're all going to throw their flavor in and it just becomes a melting pot.
Hopefully, right?
Yeah.
Like all their influences distill
and
themselves.
certain
into-
parts, you'll highlight certain aspects and certain flavors,
Yeah, I feel that has got to be some of it, because especially on this last album that I put out, I mean, those guys that I just mentioned before, they're all very excellent players, and they do have distinct styles. Max from his like traditional music backgrounds, and then Riley plays a lot of 90s, he loves 90s music, so a lot of that'll come through in his playing. And so yeah, you're right about that. I think
if you do it right, it's just a melting pot, and it
Yeah.
all seamlessly flows together, and just certain pieces pop out when they're supposed to.
I think it's important to let it be the melting pot too, because
Oh yeah, you can't force it to be one thing. Yeah.
and people do like we've all
It's
seen
such a
that.
thing. Yeah, it's like a weird thing. Some people can be like the captain of the ship, and you're gonna swab the deck, and it comes out great.
Yep.
And then there's guys that are like, all right, man, I need help. Let's do this all together, and it still comes out great. So I just think I don't know if it's the band or the personalities in the band. Like some people are just, I don't want to know anything. I'm going to play my part, and if you want me to change it, I'll change it, and I'm good. Okay.
And I don't blame them.
And there's certain people that are more outspoken about things.
Well, yes, yes. Well, it's the captain of the ship thing. I just got done saying that. What the fuck?
Captain my ass.
It's like, yeah, I liked what you did there. Just cut it in half. You're good, man. Don't worry about it. We don't need 30,000 notes. Just pick 3.
I know. I'm a bass player that I write like a lead guitar player. So,
Which is cool, just not during a verse. But anyway, so
That's very true.
say thank you. Thank you. It's very knowledgeable. It's nice to talk to somebody that has knowledge of me. No,
go fuck yourself.
no offense to anybody else. Sorry, Matt.
That's a witness to first fist fight in Jersey Shore.
No, no.
We do this all the time.
That one with the one band was like, dude, that's fucking rude. You're like, fuck off. It's like, well, yeah, you're not going to save the music business. Oh, that was rude. Like, anyway.
This is a song of mine called I Got the Shakes. I got the shakes, I got the shivers, and I'm heading downtown and I'm hoping that it all delivers. I got the shakes, yeah, I got the tremors. Oh, you were dead, but I'm hoping that you don't remember. 'Cause then it's just hollyhocks, turpentine, and hemlock in my brandy wine. St. Peter said our feet is on, I remember. Well, she's a radiant patchwork architect. She won't give off her intellect. Shadiest high noon ever gets, that's why I love her. 'Cause I got the shakes, I got the shivers, and I'm heading downtown and I'm hoping that it all delivers. I got the shakes, yeah, I got the tremors. Oh, you were dead, but I'm hoping that you don't remember. 'Cause then I can Piedmont pick another tune on a Red Hawk feathered afternoon. There's flies in May and bugs in June, but whatever. Well, it's a peck of pickled pep talks here, in through one and out my other ear, where years and fears and cheers and tears come together. 'Cause I got the shakes, I got the shivers, and I'm heading downtown and I'm hoping that it all delivers. I got the shakes, yeah, I got the tremors. Oh, you were dead, but I'm hoping that you don't remember. Or you can candy coat my cigarette, your figure 8 Confederate, the Ambrose Channel amulet through the winter. Whether it's late July or February, it's a long, long way to Tipperary, by plane, by boat, by bus, by ferry, but whatever. 'Cause I got the shakes, I got the shivers, and I'm heading downtown and I'm hoping that it all delivers. I got the shakes, yeah, I got the tremors. Oh, you nights don't remember. I got the shakes, I got the shivers. Heading downtown, hoping that it all delivers. I got the shakes, I got the trembles. Oh, you were dead, but I'm hoping that you don't remember. Well, I owe you dead, but I'm hoping that you don't remember. Well, I owe you a debt, but I'm hoping that you don't remember. Wapo, wapo.
So do you have a bunch of shows lined up for the summer?
Yeah, so I play at this bar in Highlands. It's a beach bar, and it's called the Sandbox, and we're there all throughout the summer, and gonna go up to Maine. I go up to Maine a lot and play. I'll be up in Maine on the 13th and the 17th of July, and then looking for a couple other spots while we're up there, and it's a blues fest up in Rockland, Maine that weekend. Okay. And yeah, I also play with a band called Jackson Pines as a drummer, and we got a pretty stacked summer. We're gonna be in Bethlehem at their Steel Stack stage. It's a big, nice outdoor stage. I'm looking forward to that. We're playing the Pony once. Yeah, just a regular busy summer.
That's cool. That's good. You know, it's a lot of bands aren't trying to do, I feel like you'll drive up to Maine, you'll drive up, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't think it's scary. It's just like, what the fuck are we doing? You know? And you're just like, hey, you know what? Fuck, we're going to do it anyway. Like, because if you gain 5 people, you gain 5 people. Next time there, you're going to gain 10 people. Yeah.
And I feel like that gain is the real world people. Like I was saying before, I'll never join TikTok. Well, maybe I will, but my main problem, never say never. But my main problem with it is I don't really see a lot of people who are gaining a great TikTok following. I don't see how they're converting that, the majority of them that I'm seeing. I don't see how they're converting that into people who are going to then actually listen to the music and then actually go to a show.
Well, I've also noticed that like the different social media platforms are very age specific as well. Like, you know, your older crowd, like me and Jeff, like we're more of like the Facebook, and then, you know, the early 30s, you're going to be more Instagram, and then the younger kids, like 25 and below, that's like the TikTok generation. They're the ones that are on there nonstop. And
I hope the ones right below them are just like, we're done with it. I don't want it. I don't.
And I don't think anybody uses Twitter anymore.
Maybe the ones below them will actually go to a show.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to watch it on YouTube.
Well, that's the other thing we talk about too, is the hardest part of being a musician in this era of social media and how much access you have to everything at your fingertips all the time. Nobody wants to go to shows. They're going to go look up and just see you play on YouTube. They're not going to go drive a half hour and pay $10 to get in the door when they could just pick up their phone and see it for free.
When COVID was going on, the live streams, great. It was awesome. We could all still stay connected. Now that it's over, the live streams need to die. Unless it's like for somebody who needs the accessibility. Like, yeah, I understand that not everybody can get out to the show. Like, there are people that are bedridden, and maybe they should have access to it. However, for everyone else that can get out to the show and they're just like, oh, where's the live stream? No, it needs to die.
It made us lazy.
I've always said if you want to do the live stream, you have to do it in a way where, yeah, you have your doors open, people can go there, but charge an online ticket.
Yeah, like
to access the live stream. So if you can't go, or say you have health problems and you don't want to be out in public, you know, whatever it is, you could pay. Say it's $15 at the door, charge them 10, and they can stream it online. That way, the club's still getting something. The band can still get a little piece of that.
You know, I've thought, because we've talked about this before, and it just kind of came to me as like, all right, a live musician, at least what I remember, you want to feed off that crowd. Okay, so as they're giving you, you're giving them energy, they're giving it back to you, and you play better, and you want to do this. Let's say, hell, 50% go and 50% stay home. how much energy are you losing to give that best show?
But how many people just don't go in general?
It's a catch
22.
Yeah, it is.
there.
But it's like, man, I wouldn't want to see my buddy over here on the live stream just like, yeah.
But like I said, you also got to think of that.
People here, but there's like 50,000.
Think about it in this way.
Suck.
Like, just say you're going to play like a small club, and 20 people are in the bar for you.
Most of those places
Right?
are gone. But yeah, go ahead.
I'm saying, but just to say, you're going to play to those 20 people, and it's going to be a decent show. But if you could have those 20 people that are still going to go because they wanted to go to the show, and you get another 20 people on the live stream, you're still doubling your audience.
Yes, but I'm saying from a show perspective.
Oh, I get it, but there's always a pro for the other way
watch it
too.
online, and you know people are just watching online, you either become real fake because you're not reenacting with something. You're hey, check me out. You know, like, no, it's
this
like,
is what you like, right?
yeah. Like, it's like, nah, it's not real. Like, I want to see like the real band, and I think to get that, you need the synergy of everything back and forth.
I agree 100%. But if you're not going to get those people, you got to find a way to get those people.
I agree with both of you, which is very hard.
Drive to
feel like
Maine,
I'm in the middle
drive
here.
to wherever,
But
that's why I like going to Maine, because I think, or to anywhere. I'll drive. We go to Chicago, Maine, Nashville, and try to hit every point in between there and here. And I've gone to the West Coast before, but I'm willing to take that drive, even if, like you're saying, you just meet 5 people, 10 people that really, really resonate with it. Because I feel like I've skipped the steps. I didn't have to make a corny-ass TikTok video. And then, 10,000 people saw your TikTok video, and none of them showed up to your show or checked out, like, your music. Yeah. So it's like, what good were those 10,000 people to you, man? Like, I'd rather the 10 people that actually checked it out and then come and have a conversation with you outside. I love that more than... the clout chase, I suppose.
Yeah, but I've also noticed that social media gives a lot of bands a lot of confidence that shouldn't have that confidence. Like, they'll be like, oh, we got 10,000 followers. I'm like, bro, you still only get 5 people to come to your show.
Yeah,
like, bro.
You can't play live. Oh, yeah, sorry.
Anybody could buy a couple followers online nowadays and say, hey, I got 10,000 followers.
Or, like, I'm probably going to piss a lot of, people off just by talking shit on the social media trends, but, like, that... I don't know if you heard the one song, but it's a girl who's like, if I was a fish, help me, a fish. Anybody, somebody will know what that song is, I guarantee you.
If you do, please write in. I want to know that somebody knows what he's talking about.
But this woman wrote this song. It's catchy, and it went viral. And now I think they got a...
House
Coachella. It was like a big festival set off of it, and you're going, I hope you have more songs than that one, because like, what are you gonna do? Like, not open
that
with
song
that one and
for
wait
30
till the
minutes
end?
straight.
Oh yeah, like
no, you go in there,
trouble.
you're gonna go play the one song, walk off. You gotta remember we're actually reverting back to that with like Richie Valens and all that. When they did those festivals, get up, do your one song that's a hit, bye. That's it. Yeah. I mean, you might as well just do that now.
Well, even like we talked about last week on the podcast with those other guys, it's almost like music itself is reverting back to the 50s, where it's very much singles based and not album based. It's that cycle just going around.
That's why I'm gonna start just releasing singles, because I feel
it's the way.
Like I'm not gonna do TikTok, but I will.
We're gonna watch.
I will try to shave off 30 seconds and keep her under 4 minutes, and like.
That's another thing too. It's amazing how now, as an engineer, some bands will be like, "Dude, just watch the time. Like, we can't be by 4 minutes." I'm like, "All right, 3:30."
You're like, "Oh,
3 minutes.
We have digital equipment. We sure can." But they're like, "No."
And I get it, because I do that now too, more because I've seen it so many times where it's just like the attention span's like 4 minutes, 4.5. So you're like, "Yeah, rock song, that's great, man." And then it's like, okay, now it's 2023, and it's like, yeah, 3 minutes. Like, wait, where's the rest of the song? It's fucking weird, but it's funny.
And I love old country songs, so I mean, I'm with it. Like, personally, I'm like, hey, I can write less.
Get in, get out, be done.
Takes quicker to record it.
But like you said, it takes that formula. Like you're like after the second chorus, there's a guitar solo. Now it's like, well, it's verse, chorus, bridge, solo, chorus, which is not weird. It's just, oh, that's a different formula than verse, chorus, or intro, verse, chorus, solo or bridge, chorus out. You know, like it's very weird.
And I'm down with it. Whatever needs to happen, as long as we don't all need to get a TikTok. I mean, like just as long as
like
he's really railing against
TikTok.
TikTok. But it's like that's
awesome.
where that's a lot where me and him would kind of clash a little bit. Is like I listen to a lot of like stoner metal and doom metal, where like your average song is like 8 to 10 minutes, and then there's also bands that I listen to where they have a 65-minute album that's 3 songs. And it's just 22-minute jams. No vocals, just jams. And I love that shit. It's great.
May it never die.
Most TikTokers would like look at that and throw it out the fucking window.
That's great. It's
Like,
fine. I'm
why
okay
is it
with
not
that.
30 seconds? What the
That way
fuck?
when I go see that band, it's not crowded.
But that doesn't help the band.
I know, but I'm being selfish here, okay?
Don't worry, you can live stream it and everyone will see it.
All right, fair enough.
I sit on my couch crying my ice cream while I'm watching the 65-minute song. Oh, fuck it. So where can everybody find you on TikTok and
Well, if you look up Cranston Dean, and I should be the only one because my parents were my dad was stoned enough to be like, let's name him Cranston.
At least you're honest about
we
it.
did, and so if you look up Cranston Dean, I should be the only one on everything but TikTok.
Okay. Well, we're gonna wait. We're gonna watch.
You know what? I'm
TikTok.
going to start a TikTok for you. And you're just going to randomly come upon it one day.
Do
and be
they
like,
have,
what
like,
the
the
fuck
little-
is this?
You'll have like the AI capabilities to be like, hey, let's deep fake him being like, I love TikTok now. I know you heard me say.
I'll have you singing that
Oh,
song
wait,
you were
we
just
have the
talking
audio
about.
now. We have the audio. I'll just go wash it out and just make it.
That's great. Oh, man. Anything you want to talk about, bring up in particular?
What yeah, let me ask you guys some questions.
this
How
is
do you
the first.
feel? I heard we were talking about small venues closing. How do you feel about the small venues closing? Because
Which
I've
ones?
mixed.
It's very different.
Okay, so
I have
I'll be
some
the
mixed
negative
opinions.
one.
I'm
Let
gonna
me-
just go in front of this and say it depends on which small venue. Because there's certain small venues he hopes burns to the ground.
Just burn it down.
Like-
Start over. It's got to be better than what it is right now. So just let all these guys that are used to money or screwing people over, whatever the case may be. I'm not judging anybody. Everybody probably gets something for nothing, but burn it down. Start over, because then somebody like maybe me in 10 years where I'll be like, all right, we're going to make this work. I'm not going to screw these guys over, and I'm going to try. I'll go in there with a good intention. Not me personally. I really don't give a fuck. But I'm just saying someone will do it with a good intention and start over again versus the same rut and whatever. So as these little places burn down, and some I've cheered for, some I'm waiting for, probably have a big party for a couple other ones, like start over. Like, okay, so you said in the Highlands, there's places starting. Well, fuck, that's awesome. Everybody should go. Everybody that's an original band, go check the place out. You never know. It could be cool.
Now, some of the little ones, like I'm thinking of Brighton Bar in
I
Long
love the
Branch.
Brighton.
I loved the Brighton.
I liked
and
it too.
especially when Jacko was there. That was like a special era in time. And
Oh, yeah, it had its place.
yeah,
But it's just like, man, like, I want to just be like, all right, listen, all right. Asbury was cool. It was very artistic and very this. And then it became a millionaire's place. And now all they're doing is, I don't want to hear some bullshit fucking band. Give me the guy that plays Bruce Springsteen. Give me the guy.
and Jersey loves that.
And
like
then
Jersey
we
as a
talk
whole
all the time
loves
about
that.
how, like, from our time playing in Asbury, like late 90s, 2000s, like back then it was about the music. Now it's about the money. And if you look around Asbury these days, it's well more than half tribute acts or cover bands.
And where I'm from as well, there's a lot of the tribute stuff going on, and I'm great. I'm,
Yeah.
like, if it's getting your rocks off, awesome.
We're on the shore. Everybody wants to hear.
You still got to have a place for the original music to play.
And the people that go out and see that are oftentimes the people that go, blah, there's no good music anymore. And my counter to that is, and no offense to the people that are great music
because
fans,
we still want your money. But go ahead.
we still want your money. Give me your money, and you can do it online. You don't even have to show up to the show. Just give me the money.
We'll put up his Venmo in the description.
It's in my TikTok. But the one thing I always find is that people always say, "Oh, the '70s, that was the best time for music," and I just don't believe that time was the best time exclusively. I think that might have been the best time to be a music fan, and the fans of those bands and that music were able, because it was just this subcultural communal thing that if you knew, you knew, and then a bunch of people knew, and they all showed up in a field together somewhere.
I mean, it's ebbs and flows. I mean, because you got to figure, okay, the '70s, and then there was disco. And then the '80s, and if you weren't into that, you had to wait.
I mean, hair metal was fucking huge.
Yeah, you had to wait until the '90s. Or no, actually, late '80s was like that pop thing with like Madonna and stuff like that. Then the '90s came in. Then the boy bands came in. I don't know where we are right now, but I'm sure something is in where like the cookie cutter single, like here you go. Maybe it'll change again. Maybe it won't.
Like we've said, for our generation at least, the last great musical, I guess, era, you could say, was the '90s and maybe like 2000 to 2003, somewhere in there. And then since then, it's just been a decline.
Well, you also got to remember there's only 3 major record labels left. I even think it might be 2 now. That's another fucking thing.
That's another thing I would go. Record labels. You know what I mean? It's like a big bank that works with artists, but it's not much of... There's no A&R people that are going out.
No, because all they could offer is distribution. That's it now.
Yeah. Well, that's the only good thing about the way technology's advanced is you don't necessarily need that anymore. There's many ways for you to get access to a vast amount of people without having to sign a contract and sign your life away. And because I got a buddy he had a pretty decent band in the '90s. He was signed, and he still gets like those little tiny checks here and there, but he doesn't even right now. 20 years later, he doesn't own his music. It's still owned by them. They don't have the rights to it. Nothing.
Yeah, there is something great about just owning your masters and just.
Yeah.
They said you don't have to sign your life away.
Yeah.
You could also look at it and be like, what's half of nothing?
That's true. That's
you know,
true.
I mean, dude, it's you could go hours.
Well, what killed it was the greed. The greed of all those record companies.
My TikTok.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to chop this up and do nothing but 30 seconds. This whole podcast is going to be 30-second TikToks.
Oh, that's what we should do.
Take that.
And fuck TikTok.
And fuck Spotify.
Fuck TikTok.
It's a remix. We'll make our own hit TikTok song.
They're perfect.
Oh, man.
Grants indeed. TikTok extraordinaire.
Yes. The king of TikTok himself.
Now I'm just hoping, maybe I'll get a TikTok I'll get TikTok famous from your TikTok of me saying "fuck TikTok," and it'll be like this beautifully meta thing.
Well, I'm talking to all 10 to 15 people that watch this podcast.
Yes.
I expect by tomorrow, by the day after this releases, there's at least 10 to 15 different Cranston Dean TikTok pages.
Make it go viral. Everyone make a Cranston Dean TikTok page. Flood the market. They can't stop all of us. It's like speeding on the Garden State Parkway. They can't pull us all over.
That's true.
It's not like speeding on the Parkway where they could cut your
You just don't want to be the one. You just don't want to be the guy in the back.
How many are you? Fake. We gotta need was it the little check mark or something like that?
Oh yeah.
You know. This is
Everybody
official.
pay this $6 for the blue check mark.
Oh man, I started seeing some of those pop up on Facebook too, and you're like, you didn't get.
You
bought that. You're such a lame ass. You bought that? Boo.
I don't know if you ever watched The Office. Do you watch
Yep,
The Office?
mhm.
The best part of that is if you go on Twitter, every cast member from The Office has a blue check mark except Toby. They won't give it to him.
I don't even.
Poor Toby. Nobody likes Toby for some reason, but he is a sweet guy.
Oh man.
All right, I guess that about wraps it up, right?
Yeah.
Just the final question for him.
Sure thing.
All right. We ask this question to everybody that comes in here. There's one singular thing you could change about the local music scene other than Jeff actually hitting the record button. What would it be?
How's that local
and why?
live?
Shut your mouth.
That's tough.
One singular. It can't be like this to make that, to make that. Just one singular change. What would it be and why?
Burn it down.
Yeah, burn it down might be one. Oh man, I'm torn between two things.
This normally racks people's brains. We get a pretty crazy gamut of answers.
While I do love the supportiveness of communities, I think that is very important. We were talking about that before we started. It's important for communities to lift each other up and help each other out. What I do think we need to stop doing and would help the music scenes incredibly is stop saying everything's great. That was great. Oh, what you guys did was great. Like, it's everything's fucking great. All of it.
Well, yeah, if there's like 30 fucking people or 40, 50 people that paid to get through the door, you're fucking great.
And it's like, no, like, I think, let's get rid of all the greatness. We can make it great again.
So basically, if they suck, tell them they suck.
Yeah, or like, don't be like, that was awesome, dude.
I think I would. I could excel.
You would excel at that.
I would
yes.
be pretty good at that.
That's
Dude,
we've never
how'd we
gotten
do?
that answer.
You fucking sucked.
Because I don't mean it in a. I'm thinking of there's some like record houses.
Well,
that
you don't.
are
Yeah,
happening
you're
in
not saying it
Jersey.
to deter people, but you're saying it more like you guys really need to work on your craft.
Yeah, work. It's okay. Like we're not all great, and we all fuck up, and we're
Oh, not anymore, man.
Oh, yeah.
I can Pro Tools you up. You're gonna sound like
baby.
Yeah, you're gonna sound like a dream. Ready for TikTok.
Let's record a TikTok album after this. What are we doing?
Oh, we got to get him in there to play still.
Yeah.
Oh, you got some songs for us to play, right?
I got some songs for you.
See?
Sure.
Let's go check that out. I think it's time. We get TikTok famous songs.
All right.
Going to do some songs.
We're gonna do the
We're gonna do some
acoustic
songs.
version of the TikTok King.
Ah, nice. Perfect.
All right, man. Thanks for coming out. We
Yes,
really
thank you.
appreciate
Having
it.
us, guys.
All right, we just want to give a shout out to our sponsors real quick. First and foremost, Manafirkin Brewery. They make some great brews, and they're also letting us play some shows down there. They're going to let us bring some bands in. We're going to have July 9th and September 3rd, Labor Day weekend. That's going to be a good one. I'm working on a couple different bands. It should be a fun time, but as of right now, I think just yesterday I nailed down the 3 bands, so we'll be announcing the July 9th show real soon. It's going to be a good time. Come out. We're going to have a food truck there, good beer, good music all day, and this one's going to be quite the eclectic mix, we'll say. No band is anywhere near like the other band. So that's going to be a good time. And here you go, man. Cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks for coming out.
Thanks for having me.
And we also want to shout out Lofidelic Records, Main Street in Belmar, supporters of the podcast. Go up there, check them out. They do little shows in their store here and there. And they also sell a ton of records, good records too. Great guy. Go check them out. Thanks for coming again, man.
Thanks for
Really
having
appreciate
me,
it.
Well, this is a song of mine called Shades, and it's off a new album I just put out called Northern Town. And honey, I'm lost in my mind. I cannot wash in the river. It's only a matter of time. Something that feels like forever. Hanging your heart out to dry. Never be peace in the valley. I never will know until I try. Failure's my best teacher, surely, or remedy for missing something that I can't get back. I'm familiar with that. I'm tired of living with the lights down low, the shades drawn black. Remedy for feelings I can't explain. I never cut myself slack. I'm tired of living with the lights down low and the shades drawn black. Honey, I can't seem to find all of the strength to deliver. It's only a matter of time, something that lasts for forever. Hanging your heart out goodbye, taking and taking the tally. The bed that I make is where I lie. Failure's my best teacher, surely. Or remedy for missing something that I can't get back. I'm familiar with that. Tired of living with the lights down low, the shades drawn black. Remedy for feelings I can't explain. I never cut myself slack. Tired of living with the lights down low, the shades drawn black. Living with the lights down low, the shades drawn black. Living with the lights down low, the shades drawn black. With the lights down low and the shades drawn black.